Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, hey, hey.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how.
People look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off.
Don Richard said that Usher witnessed Diddy punch Cassie in the stomach at a dinner.
Usher is strutting in with decades worth of skeletons. And baby, this ain't just light tea. This is boiling hot with files, freaky footage, and a straight-up trail of mess leading right to Diddy's front door. For years, whispers circled, awkward interviews popped up, slip-ups got caught on camera, but nothing ever fully clicked until now. Because Usher finally spilled what folks been side-eyeing for years. He was the prototype. The golden boy passed to Diddy like some twisted rite of passage. And it didn't stop with him. It trickled down to Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, and whoever else got sucked into that black hole. And now, that hush-hush wall the industry hid behind, glamored up in platinum and PR, is crumbling fast. Usher ain't just talking. He's unraveling the whole operation, a grooming ring dressed up in mentorship clothes. And if his words stand up in court, this ain't just career suicide, it's a bomb to the system. Because Usher's not just tossing out names, he's dragging the entire game, and he's starting with himself. Before we dive into the creepy hotel cams, Bieber's 48-hour lockdown, or Diddy's spiral into paranoia, let's spin it back. Because before Bieber had a clue what a contract even meant, and way before Cassie got trapped in that nightmare hallway, Usher was already knee-deep. And he didn't just witness the monster, he was one of its original victims. In the early 90s, Usher Raymond IV was a 13-year-old vocal prodigy out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, signed by L.A. Reid, who at the time was pumping out hits like candy. But instead of keeping Usher safe and supported, L.A. Reid made a choice that would scar him for life. He shipped the boy off to NYC, dropped him straight into Diddy's lair, or what industry vets like to call it, Flavor Camp. Let's hit pause. Flavor Camp wasn't some fun kiddie sleepaway. That was insider code for Diddy's wild bachelor penthouse, allegedly a front for grooming, wrapped up as mentorship. Usher had no mama with him, no legal backup. He was just a child, alone, living with one of the most chaotic partiers in the game. A man with endless models, booze, cameras, and dangerous power. And Usher, barely 14th, thrown in the lion's den. Years later, he'd laugh nervously when bringing up Flavor Camp, eyes darting like he wanted to forget. He called it crazy, full of women, and said out loud, he witnessed things no child should ever be exposed to.
Moved to New York City. And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what
Camp.
it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you
I
seeing?
went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was,
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
And baby, it gets darker. Whispers straight out of Harlem say Usher didn't just witness the circus, he got physically wrapped up in it. The street's been talking for years that something so disturbing happened in that penthouse, Usher ended up in the hospital, and not for exhaustion. Not for some dance rehearsal injury, but allegedly due to a backdoor situation. And if you know, you know. Insiders claim Diddy did something to Usher that sent him straight to urgent care. Some folks whisper that this whole thing got swept under the rug with tight NDAs, stacks of hush money, and what one insider low-key called unofficial street threats. No police file, no breaking news, but baby, the streets were buzzing.
You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent her to the hospital? Man, Nick was bleeding from the butt. And that's what was said. I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you heard, and that's what happened. And that's just, that's something that you heard. You don't know if it's true, you just heard it.
Gene deal? Oh, he's not holding back. He's out here claiming Usher had some real questionable encounters with grown women, all while Diddy was sitting back watching the show.
Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp.
Then there's that one video, the one Diddy probably wishes got burned before it ever leaked. In it, he's lounging like it's story time, chatting about his younger years with Usher, when out of nowhere, he drops a bomb.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, check this out. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest songs in the world.
But that wasn't the only time Usher was allegedly stuck witnessing something horrific instead of just surviving it himself. One chilling report says Usher was right there when Diddy punched Cassie in the gut during a dinner with Neo and Jimmy Iovine.
Oh shit. 3 more names have been dropped in the P. Diddy trial. During Dawn's testimony and cross-examination, she spoke about an event that happened in 2010 in West Hollywood. The event took place in a restaurant where Diddy allegedly punched Cassie in the stomach, while the likes of Neo, Usher and Jimmy Iovine were present. This then turned into a secret argument between Diddy and Cassie. He then pointed to the door, making her leave the restaurant because she was hunched over, holding her stomach.
And guess what? None of them men said a damn thing, not even a gasp, just that eerie silence. And for Usher, a father now, that silence, it's starting to look a lot like guilt. The question floating around is whether he was ever really okay, or if he was just conditioned to shut down. Let's be real. Usher wasn't just manipulated into silence, he was groomed into survival. He became numb to the madness around him. He didn't just endure it, he absorbed it. And by the time he walked away, he left behind a breadcrumb trail of shattered souls. But it gets deeper. The darkest part? What Usher did after he stopped seeing danger and started calling it the business. He didn't just escape Diddy's world, he guided someone else into the fire. Justin Bieber. When Bieber entered the game, the whole system was already humming, shady, slick, and unstoppable. And guess who let him in with open arms? Yep, Usher. Now picture this, late 2000s. YouTube is blowing up, and this baby-faced Canadian kid with a silky voice is going viral. Scooter Braun finds him. Usher stamps him. And Usher? He walks Justin straight to L.A. Reid, the same exec who once shipped him off to Diddy's den. It's deja vu, but make it darker. Only now, it's worse. Cause this time, the warning signs were blinking in neon. And Usher ain't a naive teen anymore. He's a grown man making grown decisions. And then comes Diddy. And honey, Diddy didn't waste a single minute. He swooped in like a hawk on a mouse. There's even a cringy old clip still floating around, with Diddy bragging that he had Justin in his custody for 48 hours.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have
been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
Going crazy.
Crazy.
And let's be honest, even then, something felt off. But folks giggled, called it mentorship, and brushed it off. But the internet got receipts, and once folks started connecting dots years later, that clip hit like a gut punch. And no, it wasn't just rumors. There's photos, videos, and first-hand tea showing Justin Bieber at parties he had no business being at. Pics of him shirtless, surrounded by grown women at Diddy-thrown bashes. Clips of him on live streams looking visibly uneasy while Diddy hits him with strange, paranoid questions, like asking if he's wired. But this moment in particular had folks clutching their pearls.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
And maybe Justin peeped the danger too, because out of nowhere, he started easing out. The Diddy ties got ghosted. The music collabs stopped cold. Justin quit name-dropping him in public. He stayed quiet. And when Diddy's lawsuit started bubbling up, Justin's silence turned icy. He didn't back him, didn't ride for him, but didn't say a word either. Which brings us to one of the juiciest mysteries in this mess. What does Justin Bieber really know? People on the inside swear Justin saw more than he'll ever speak on, that he sensed the crazy early and dipped the moment he got clout to do it. Others believe he's scared of blowback, scared of getting iced out the industry, scared of reopening wounds he never signed up for. Either way, one thing's clear. Justin wasn't just some party guest. He was deep in it. And Usher, baby, his hands ain't squeaky clean either.
Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute, and his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that. He had already been to the hospital. That situation that Gene was talking about. And you still took Bieber there. But you got custody of him first. Diddy had already tried. They wouldn't let him. Actually, someone made reference to the fact that Diddy trying to get at Bieber the way he was trying to get at Bieber was looking a little predatory. And then Usher came in and discovered it and managed.
But we still ain't hit the real climax yet. Let's talk about the courtroom chaos. Cassie, Diddy's ex-girl and one-time industry puppet, already told the court Usher was there when Diddy went full rage mode, allegedly socking her in the stomach during a dinner with Nayo and Jimmy Iovine. What's blowing folks' minds now? Nobody at that table flinched. And this wasn't no random dinner crowd. This was the music industry's elite circle. And still, not a peep. That silence? It's starting to look a whole lot like guilt by association. But baby, hold on, because the tea is still piping. Now, the guest list is leaking like a cracked faucet. We're talking names of folks who were allegedly deep in the mix, saw things, or were just way too cozy with the chaos. Chris Brown, French Montana, and yep, Justin Bieber. All of them were spotted at Diddy's now notorious Thanksgiving bash in 2017, lounging in his mansion, caught on camera, laughing, hugging, like one big happy family. That same night, French Montana strolls in late, and Diddy suddenly has the whole room holding hands for prayer. Chilling, right? A predator blessing his inner circle while hiding God knows what in the shadows. But honey, it's messier than that. Let's talk about the Combs bloodline, because if this whole thing's a machine, then it was built built in-house and passed down like inheritance. Bodyguard Gene Deal says it plain. Diddy's own mother, Janice Combs, was allegedly wrapped up in the whole twisted operation. Multiple sources claim Mama Combs didn't just party with Diddy, she might have helped allure women and young girls into that world. And once you hear that, everything else starts falling into place like a dark puzzle. Now, Justin Bieber's the one under fire. Why? Because he's the golden boy who made it out. But let's not forget, Justin hit that unfollow button on Usher's Instagram. Loud message, no caption needed. Now he's standing in the hot seat. And while the world's been unraveling theories and dissecting every old moment between him and Diddy, Justin's kept it zipped. Fans are analyzing every frame, every smile, every handshake, and it's giving weird. But now, Team Bieber is jumping into damage control mode. In a statement sent to People, his rep declared, "Although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve." So no, Bieber's team says he wasn't one of Diddy's victims. But notice what they didn't say. They didn't shut down the idea that something twisted may have happened to others. Even before that carefully worded statement came out, Justin was already moving strange. He dipped off the radar. No posts, no sightings, barely a whisper. Then boom, he reappeared courtside at a hockey game in Toronto, looking rough. He was glued to Haley like she was the last safe space left. It gave "I'm fine" energy, but the eyes told a different story. And just when people started speculating, insiders spilled to the press that Justin's been shook over this whole Diddy mess. One source said another claimed Bieber deeply regrets linking with Diddy on that 2023 project, the Love album, Off the Grid. But let's be clear, this ain't just about Cassie's black eye or Usher's twisted past or Justin's fragile mental state. This is about the dirty framework that made it all possible and the powerful people who kept the gears turning in silence. So what now? That depends on who's bold enough to speak up, who's ready to face their demons, and who's still smiling for the cameras while hoping the spotlight don't catch them next. Cause if Usher's courtroom confession stands strong, if Bieber ever spills, and if those whispers about secret tapes, freak-offs, and filmed madness are even partially true, baby, this ain't just Diddy's downfall. It's a full-on Hollywood inferno. Drop your thoughts below.